From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we go over the breaking news as the bill is now in the Senate, and the senators vow to add more checks to that recon. And they also represent, they will be MSCs, multiple IRS stimulus checks, on top of the checks so far in that recon that'll pay you about $15,000. But on this Thanksgiving, we now realize the number could go even higher, as high as $30,000 before we get to the MSCs. The breaking details today on Afternoons. Then we turn to the exciting details of third stimulus that's paying your bills right now. There is a lot of money available under third stimulus to pay your bills this week. And we're going to go over more success stories from viewers of this channel who have gotten thousands of dollars of their bills paid this holiday week. You can do it as well, with the average viewer of this channel getting $45,000 of checks under third stimulus. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness. We'll be turning to the excitement of fifth stimulus. And then we'll be looking back at the excitement of what's unfolded in the last few days and what's coming up this coming week. We got a big, bold, beautiful Afternoons broadcast. I'm excited you're here. We're direct from Santa Monica, California, with a lot of breaking news about the amount of the checks, the holiday bills being paid by third stimulus, and the excitement of a new show coming to LALATE. What is it? It's coming up in this recording. A preview of it and more. It's a big, bold, beautiful afternoon. I'm excited you're here. Happy Thanksgiving. And this, my friends, of course, is Afternoons LALATE, starting right here on Thanksgiving. Hey, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful weather where you are. Hope you enjoyed the parade, and hope you're enjoying the parade of stimulus on this channel. The recon passing the House of Representatives off to the Senate, and those senators are now indicating they're going to do a quick turnaround time and give more checks in that incredible recon. What changed in the last 48 hours? All the latest details, with checks that will likely be more than $15,000 to start, with an additional $12,500 check revealed in this recording before they add that MSC. Third stimulus is available right now to pay your bills, and viewers have gotten big sums of money. I'll explain what those sums of money are and how you can get them as well in this recording. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness, and we'll also be turning to fifth stimulus. We'll get a preview of a new show coming to this channel. You've been asking for it, and boys are coming. Then we'll be looking back at the debut of another show that started yesterday, and it came on episode today. And with that, subscribe. This, my friends, is LALATE, and happy Thanksgiving. America's most watched financial news channel in America, number 3 in the nation, and number 1 in covering this subject matter, geopolitical news. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE, a brand new show tonight. And then we got Street and Stimulus and also Countdown. And here we go into this incredible recon. In this recording, we have a lot to go over and a lot of breaking news. We'll go over the incredible recon so far coming out of the House and going to the Senate, how much is in there, and why it's likely not $15,000, but more around $50,000 to $60,000. We'll go over the checks the senators vow to add in there on top of that. Then we'll go over the incredible items that are available for you under third stimulus to pay your bills today, and some more of your success stories you sent me overnight. And then we'll be cutting back over to fifth stimulus as well. Here we go. House of Representatives passed an incredible recon this week, and that recon is off to the Senate. The recon so far may have about $15,000 of checks in there, but you're going to see in this recording, when you do the math with me, it looks like it's about $50,000 to $60,000 a check. So it's incredible recon. They're splattered across 3 clusters and 2 add-ons. And the first cluster, we immediately see off the door, out the gate, that one check in there is $12,500, which we did not know was a front end in your hand check. Oh boy, here we go. Hazard pay, it got in that first cluster. That's for my essential workers, a back end check, the earned income tax credit for 1 more year. Elder care got in there $4,000 a year for elders. They got in there $4,000 to care for young children. Then they got in the Pell Grant for my college students, $550 checks to you. They got home repairs if you live in a low-income community. Those are totally free. And then they got in the CTC, the child tax credit for 1 more year, $3,600 or $3,000, depending on the age of the child, 6 to 17. And then they got in there the $12,500 of cash in your hand. Whoa, what is this one for? This was the big surprise. This is the electric vehicles. It's not a back end check, it's a front end check, and it's coming into your hands. Wow. How do you get it? I have it later in this video. Let's go to the first add-on, which comes to the illustrious House representative here from Southern California, Los Angeles, Maxine Waters. She got it in there. And what is it? Free money to buy your first home. Oh my goodness, that is incredible. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less, but later in this video, I'm going to show you how to get this big money to buy your first home. I know a lot of viewers are very excited about this. Let's go to the second cluster of checks, home repairs and paid leave. In this second cluster of checks, we got a lot of money. We got the home repairs, this time weatherize your home, the paid leave, the pre-kindergarten, and also the household tax credit. The weatherize your home definitely needed, especially if you need to have those windows to sustain a natural disaster. What are the type of natural disasters? One of the type of natural disasters you want to sustain against is when you see the check at the beach and you look out of your beach house and you wave at the check and the check doesn't wave back. Hey, check, how are you? Oh, didn't wave back, that waveable check. I thought he's a waveable check. Give me my turkey drumstick. I'm going to hit this window. It will not break because it's a weatherized window. There you go. Let's go to the second add-on of checks, which comes with the illustrious Bob Casey, the senator from Pennsylvania, $250 billion of money for my seniors and people on disabilities for free home health care. How do you get it? It's coming up later in this video. All right, let's go to the third cluster of checks. Here we go. In this third cluster of checks is the money for seniors and also free internet. This is the cluster that's a deliciousness. Here we go. We got free school meals for all. We got tax breaks. We got cheaper prescription medications. We got immigration reforms, farmers. We also got free internet. We got workers, and then we got Medicare expansion, which truly embodies what we're looking at going into next week. When we talk about Medicare expansion, we have 2 of 5 provisions in there. But the next 3, they're coming from the senators. We have in there on the House side, we have in there the hearing and the Medicaid gap states. Bernie's vowing to put in the teeth and the vision and also lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Which brings us to the MSC, monthly IRS stimulus check, with several legislators, offices, the same 6 senators, telling viewers in the last 5 days that they are definitely putting in at least 1 or more stimulus checks into this incredible recon. Over the last few months, 6 senators have repeatedly, constantly told viewers of this channel that they will introduce changes to the recon to add an MSC. And what have they talked about? $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. They want to give you 1 or more stimulus IRS checks on the Senate side. And they have told thousands of viewers, starting in May with WR, continuing through the wonderful Brother Joshua, with Bernie Sanders, continuing with Donnie, and then continuing all the way up to the present, with those 6 senators, thousands of viewers being told the same subject matter. They say they want to keep the same eligibility as a third stimulus check. Single individuals, $75,000 or less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, they got it. Double it. Family of 4, quadruple it, they got it. And on benefits, SSI, SSDI, or adult dependents, got it as well. They want to insert this provision because guess what? they got a lot of work to add to this recon. This is not the only provision they got to add to the recon. You already heard the two provisions, actually three provisions from Bernie he wants to add in there. Well, in the second half of this video, you're going to see the senators and everything they want to add to this recon. But what's new on afternoons today is you're going to see a sense of urgency by the senators and the White House to get the recon done faster than later because of a series of events that unfolded in the last 14 days. This is breaking news today on Afternoons LA. It's coming up after the commercial break. But first, it's important for you to pick up the phone and advocate. You're having that turkey. It's putting you to sleep. Before you fall asleep, pick up the phone and call some voicemails, not those relatives in Poughkeepsie, those friends and family in DC. Pick up and call those 6 senators and advocate for the inclusion of that stimulus check. Leave a voicemail. They now have a total between congressional senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the American Petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they have the voice of the people across the nation in you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. So kind. Let's read that last sentence on air together as a family this Thanksgiving. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. Amen. What do they say? We're now in the Senate. This is where the senators vowed to add stuff in there. Senators can try to add stuff on the House side, but now it's in their the ball's in their court. Now it's their opportunity. And those 6 senators you want to call are the 2 C's, the 2 S's, and the 2 W's who have represented thousands of viewers. They will do a stimulus check. They are Bob Casey, Casey Coons, Warren, Liz Warren, Wyden, Ron Wyden, Schumer, Chuck Schumer, and Bernie and Bernie Sanders. Pick up the phone and call the 2 C's, the 2 S's, and the 2 W's and advocate for its inclusion. But also give yourself some time and place to also advocate for your wallet, because third stimulus is still paying out. And in the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how, if you make some phone calls starting today, starting tomorrow, you can start to get your bills paid during the holidays. Yes, this is third stimulus. It's already law and has thousands of dollars. In the second half of this video, you can see some more success stories that came in overnight on this Thanksgiving for people who have listened and gotten thousands of dollars in just the last few hours. It's third stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid this holiday week with third stimulus. We'll be turning back to the Senate changes that they're adding to this incredible recon. Why the recon may likely be more than $15,000. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness, and then we'll be turning to the excitement of fifth stimulus, and then we'll have a preview of a very popular show. Yes, Blaine 66, Javita Late, sirloin. Oh boy, the excitement's so exciting. It's better than $12 ice cream. I have those details and more coming up after the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as a special Thanksgiving edition of Afternoons LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on the second half of Afternoons LA's special Thanksgiving broadcast. The House of Representatives passed your incredible recon. Off to the Senate we go. And those senators are vowing to add more checks to this incredible recon. A lot more checks. And while we may think we're at $15,000, we may also be already at $50,000 to $60,000. We'll be turning to third stimulus, which pays your bills right now. We'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness. The latest details on those. Then we'll be turning to this stimulus across the board, and then a preview of one of the most excited and most anticipated shows and its return. Those details and more as we go into a big Afternoons Thanksgiving broadcast. I'm excited you're here, and this, my friends, is LALATE. So subscribe. At 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock, and then Countdown at 6, Street and Stimulus at 7, and Sirloin at 8. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, and consider becoming a member. And here we go. The breaking news going into this Thanksgiving is the president's dealing with dramatically falling poll ratings. His approval ratings are falling dramatically, and now the president senses a sense of urgency to get the reconciliation bill done faster rather than later. Democrats on Capitol Hill in the Senate and the Democrats in the White House collectively have said this Thanksgiving weekend is, we need to get this recon done fast. Why? In the last 7 days, the president had a lot of success numbers, and those success numbers have not resonated with the American people. Success number one, the passage of the roads and bridges, the infrastructure. Why did that not resonate? For exactly the same reasons you and I have discussed for 6 months. It's sort of an esoteric legislation. It's very sort of pie in the sky. Americans cannot relate to it. It's out there in the universe. And it doesn't have anything to do with their wallet or their livelihood this month or next month. It's a very slow-moving bill that impacts your roads and bridges over 10 years. So it's not something they're going to see for a very, very long period of time. Number two, he got the passage of the recon in this House done. Good, but many people were expecting this to be done a long time ago. Number three, he had the lowest unemployment numbers ever in 50-something years achieved this week. That is an enormous achievement for this presidency. And while it got out there, the number did not result in much fanfare or improvement in his poll ratings. You know that every Thursday morning of over all the weeks that this channel has been around for a year and a half, I always detail the new unemployment numbers. And you know that the unemployment numbers are generally about 220,000 before the pandemic, and ever since then higher. You knew during the Trump administration there were 1 million new jobless claims a week. Then in recent weeks, they fell to about 300, 340 a week. Still very high, still higher than pre-pandemic levels. So last week, we were at 270, still higher than pre-pandemic levels. They were expecting 260,000 new jobless claims on Wednesday. But where did they come in? At 199,000 new jobless claims. The lowest since November 15th, 1969. It's the lowest number the Department of Labor has reported in 52 years. It's a groundbreaking achievement for the White House. But, so why is this not resonating with American people? For the number one reason, the word that starts with the letter I, inflation. Inflation is now being seen across the middle America at the worst level since World War II because it's impacting people's wallets so much, meaning they're employed, they're making more money, but they're not making enough money to offset the rate of inflation. And while the president released some money from the strategic oil reserves, which means gasoline, petroleum, to help bring down the price of gasoline, it's not going to work. It's not enough. And so people still feel the pressure. So what is the end result of this? Get the recon done ASAP and go bigger and bolder. And now let's turn to the Senate. Let's turn to that incredible Senate. The senators have the recon. It's in the Senate, and they vow to add a lot of stuff to that recon. So let's first go over what is in the recon so far coming out of the House, those incredible programs that'll pay you about $15,000, and then we'll go over the add-ons that show you that potentially we're seeing a lot more money. Now, the graphic on the screen says 15,000. You're going to get a pen and paper ready and get ready with me and go through these numbers, because at this point, they may be already at $50,000 to $60,000, not 15,000. So the first provisions in this recon that are really good are the paid leave and family leave. And here we go. That paid leave and family leave starts with a lot of money across the board. And it starts with that incredible $1,700 a week if you make $75,000 or more per year. Don't worry, if you make $35,000 or more per year, it's $800 a week. And if you make only $15,000 or more per year, it's $400 a week. How many weeks? 4 weeks a year is the maximum. Wow. That's $5,000 to $6,000 on the high end. And yes, you don't have to be the worker. If you're a senior, you're retired, and you live with your son and daughter, and they take you to the doctor once a week, they take off from work, they lose a day of work, they're going to get the check on behalf of taking you to work. It's for all income levels and all types of workers, W-2 and 1099s. It's incredible. The next provision they got into this recon that's very, very helpful is the raising up of the SALT cap. Currently, under the 2017 tax overhaul of the Trump administration, you can only deduct $10,000 of what you pay in state and local taxes on the federal tax return. Now you'll be able to deduct $72,500. It's incredible. They got $40 billion of free job training because guess what? Record numbers of Americans are quitting their jobs to take other jobs that are higher paying. And now you get free job training to get that higher paying job. And also by seniors, if you want to go back to work, you can under FIS stimulus because they're going to allow you to get your benefits check and still work. I get a lot of questions about cheaper insurance. They got it in here. This is the Medicaid gap fix. There are 12 holdout Republican governor states where the Republican governors offered Obamacare but did not want to pay for it. So now the Democrats got a provision in there called a workaround plan. They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states. And then we got the housing assistance. Wow. Here is when you want that pen and paper ready. $150 billion for 6 items, 3 of which sound familiar. The first 3 are rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. Yes, the same 3 items from third stimulus. New, added in there, is the home repairs, weatherize your home, and the first-time home purchases. So, you know what I'm about to say. You don't have to wait for 4th stimulus to get the first 3 items. You can get them right today under third stimulus. That is how we rock and roll because third stimulus is still paying, and it's paying a lot. Average view of this channel has gotten $45,000 for third stimulus. And the great news is that I know how things roll. You have holiday bills. You have bills in just general, and you want them paid. Well, about 7 days ago, I brought back third stimulus to this channel. And boy, the success stories continue to come on in. Let's go over the success stories first before we go over how you can also have a success story for me by tomorrow. Here are some of the success stories that came in the last few hours or day. Here's Mary Lou overnight. She tells me on Thanksgiving, hey, LALATE, I want to thank you so much. I just had 3 months of rent paid at $900 a month and a $1,000 electric bill and a $500 water bill. Wow. So I love that story for several reasons. One, it's 3 items. So she's learning. She got 3 items. Good job, Mary Lou. She got 3. I like that she understood she can get big bills paid. So she has $900 a month of rent. She got $900 a month of rent. We can see another viewer in a second. He has $1,100 a month rent. He got paid as well. So I love she got 3 items. Now, Mary Lou, go get some more rent from another place. Good job. Get some more money. Here's morale. He just tells me this today. This is brand new on Thanksgiving. I just got 6 months of utilities assistance. Social services paid at $936, and I may be getting 2 months of back rent. I had 4 months payment from August from a different agency, and May 2 more months. So I love Morale's story for several reasons. You know why? He's hearing, I believe it's he's hearing my message about getting money from different places. So he got one place, the rent in August, and now in November is he getting rent in a different place. So remember, you don't have to get the rent from the same place. Here's also brand new from yesterday. Chris tells us, hope you're feeling better. I am, thank you. He says, I just got 3 more months of rent of $5,000 and some utilities. So he got 2 items. Good, Chris. And then he previously received $10,000 of rent and utilities. Great. So here is, again, a viewer who understood, get another round of these monies. We appreciate your help. I would have never known about this and the process until I start following you and listen to it and interacting with other viewers. Now get well. I love that because now the viewer understands that, yes, this is where you hear this information. It's not going to be in a book in the library. It's not going to be in the magazine. It's going to be here. And that's how I love it. So Chris, I want you to get a 3rd item. You've gotten rent and utilities. I would get that 3rd item if you can. Sophia, she got $700 in heating oil. Congratulations. Scarpia got SNAP. Melissa Justice got rent and then future rent, and then electric, which is almost, it looks like it's about $9,000, $10,000. Great job, Melissa Justice. Jay Grand got $5,000 for rent. So Jay Grand, go get some utilities right now. And Lorica, whose story just resonates so well with so many viewers, including Terry Rose, she understands how to get the utilities for my recordings, but she doesn't have water, gas. She has wood. Her home is heated by wood. So she got wood into December 2022. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So there with that incredible messages of hope and prosperity during this Thanksgiving, now get that pen and paper ready because it's time for your turn. You're going to get money starting right now. First, let's go over you. You qualify. You qualify whether you're behind the rent, not behind the rent. Red state, blue state. Single, married, children, without children, elderly, young. You qualify for these sums of money. And if you see everything that's sort of different in there, it is. A lot of people in day one, back in a year ago today, said, my rent is very expensive. They'll never pay for expensive rent. Yeah, they pay for expensive rent. So let's look at the rent and let's start there. The rent has gone up to $40,000. Yes, people have been really shocked how much it's gone up. Why? Because viewers have gotten better at this. The more they listen, the better they get at getting this money. So where do you get the rent? Okay, this is all featured in the newsletter, but I can go over it with you right now. So get a pen and paper ready. You can reach out to all 6 of the following places: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. Now, a couple things to know. 1, get multiple rounds. And you saw how viewers were doing that in today's success stories. If you got rent in the spring from Organization 1, go back to Organization 1 and get another round. If you got rent from Organization 1 yesterday, turn around today and get more rent from Organization number 2. Number 2, put applications everywhere. Don't put on one application. Number 3, you must apply to. You must reach out to all 6 places. Do the same thing with mortgage assistance. Let's go to utilities. Wow, utilities have gone up a lot. They are $15,000 a year now, like Mark's brother-in-law. Pick up the phone and call all utility companies. So when I see someone that sends me a very nice message on Instagram, says, I got $500 utilities, I sense that means they got one utility bill. So I want to congratulate them, and I also want to say, hey, I know you have some other utilities because that's a little bit low, so get some other utilities paid as well. Next, SNAP. You can get the SNAP, and it's wonderful. If you qualified for third stimulus checks, then you should have been on SNAP all along. It is for money for food, and you get it from Department of Agriculture, and it's a lifetime benefit, and it going up 25% lifetime starting last month. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year, which is $250,000 over the next 10 years. Next, get combo items. Here you go with the combo items. Nisi and Art Sullivan started us on this. They got 3 items. At the time, I thought, oh, what a great idea, 3 items. Now it's become sort of par for the course. Nisi had 3 items at 23. Nancy had 3 items at 32, but Mark was only at 2 items at 32. So Mark went back and got one more item when I told him to do it, and he brought him to 50,000. Now Mark's got more items, and he's at over 100,000. Here's Lorraine. She was at 105. Now she's at 120, which brings us to Johnny, our true inspirational story, because he embodies how you and I should be doing this. 2 parts of the story. Let's go to the first part. On a particular week, Johnny was with 3 different viewers. They did not know each other. They were watching the videos. And by the middle of the week, they each got 3 items approved. How much? $45,000. Great news. Good number. But Johnny heard my recording. He heard me say, do not stop. Keep on pushing. So he did. And by the end of the week, he got 7 items approved. Now, understand if you have 7 items approved, you can have some no's. So he clearly had to have made 15 phone calls because you're not going to be batting 100%. You're not going to get 7 out of 7. So I love that Johnny made 15 phone calls in 5 days. That's what you need to do. And how much money did he get? $80,000. Yes, $80,000 in 5 days. The second part of the story I particularly like a lot. And what happened? He reached out to his family members. He said, hey, I got $8,000 last week from that kid at LALATE. Oh, yeah, I've heard about him. How did you get it? Third stimulus, he said. They said, Johnny, there is no money in third stimulus except a $14 stimulus check. I see him on our local cable news channel and cable news network. He says, no, they don't cover it. He covers it, LA, and yes, it's in there. By the end of the week, those 2 family members went from disbelievers to believers and each got $50,000. That truly embodies what we're looking at when we're looking at third, fourth, and fifth stimulus. What viewers have happened to get used to and accustomed and frequent in their understanding going forward is that this is the number one news channel in America for geopolitical news, which is this. The number one financial news channel in America covers stocks. The number two covers the economy. This is the number three financial channel in America, but I cover geopolitical news, number one on that subject matter. Why do I cover this and they don't cover it? Who knows? Who knows? But what's important for you to understand is that if someone else doesn't cover the subject matter, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And it took me a little while to help reassure people about these things. If you don't hear them mentioning something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means they're not covering it. So when we have 6 senators who tell viewers of this channel, thousands of them, that they want to put it in MSC, that doesn't mean those conversations aren't happening. It means that broadcast media aren't covering the subject matter. When we talk about Maxine Waters who wants to give you money to buy your first home, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means broadcast channels aren't covering it. Just like how I'm not covering a covered stock put order or an NFT. I'm not covering it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just I'm not covering it. And that brings us then into forced stimulus, where we left off with that housing assistance. That housing assistance is incredible because guess what? It has 3 other items in there under forced stimulus, which are brand new. The first one is the home repairs. Yes, that will be a grant if you live in a low-income community. Number 2, weatherize your home. Likely for all homes, not just low income. And then number 3, purchase price of your first home. Wow, that's going to be incredible. That is going to be something given to the seller right before the close of escrow. They got $150 billion in there for home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Then they got the tuition aid, which is $550 checks of Pell Grants for college students. The next one, this one really sparked a lot of conversation yesterday, and I'm glad it did because I find it fascinating. It's $12,500 checks to you when you buy a car. What's going on here? This is very fascinating. So, until recently, if you went and bought, for example, a Tesla, it would say $7,500 off the price of a Tesla due to a federal rebate. That $7,500 would come after you file your tax return. It would not come at the time of purchase. So the administration in this forced stimulus recon has a provision called climate-friendly incentives. And it's $12,500 for the purchase price of an electric vehicle, U.S. auto manufacturer, union shop, U.S. soils. And this provision has taken its own life form in the last few days. First, I always thought that there were a lot of U.S. cars that qualify for this. There aren't. There's 1 to 3 total. Number 2, I had thought that this was treated the same as the $7,500. It's back end. Untrue. It's a front end. So what is going on here? It means that if you go buy a qualifying car from those manufacturers at the time of purchase, let's say it's $30,000 a car, you'll pay that amount less, $12,500 at the time of purchase. So instead of $30,000, you'll be paying that minus $12,500. The second part of the provision that needs to be modified is totally illogical. Is this limiting factor that it's only plants in the United States terraced soils? Doesn't make sense. Why? Number 1, there's not enough cars that qualify. Let's take the beautiful Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's an electric Ford. It's made by Ford, so it qualifies. It's electric, it qualifies. It's made by union labor, it qualifies. But it gets disqualified because its plant is in Mexico, and they ship it over the border and sell it here in our showrooms. So that would disqualify it. Why? It makes no sense. Now, here's the problem. It violates a trade rule, in my opinion, that says you cannot create disincentives to purchasing a car made in another country, even if it's made by our workers. So I don't think it can qualify. Number 2, it doesn't make sense to have a provision where only 3 cars qualify for this law. So I think they're going to see some modifications about it. They got child nutrition, $65 a month when the kid is not in school. That's great. And then we got in there one of the best provisions, which is the cheaper medication. They're going to take the most expensive medication, diabetes, arthritis, and cancer, and slash the prices on day 1. 20 medications day 1. So that, for example, you're going to look at an insulin dose go from $1,000 to $35 out the door. And those medications include Medicare Part B and Medicare Part D for my seniors and people on Medicare. It will grow to 30 medications by the year 2028. They cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. And if they do, there's a penalty provision. Really? Excuse me. Yeah, that's what Pat Toomey says, the Republican senator who's usually good on this type of stuff. He says you cannot put a penalty provision on the income. I think he's right. So I think that's provisions coming out. Next, there's talk that the immigration provision will go out. I think it will. Senate parliamentarian is the person at issue. She's going to determine the fate of these provisions next week. If something comes out, the money doesn't come out, just the program. Also on the battleground, paid leave. We'll see what happens. Now, in this graphic, you've already seen how the number $15,000 is undervalued. You've already saw $12,500 on top of that. You've already seen that everything under third stimulus that paid $45,000 is back. So how can it be $15,000? It's clearly $50,000 to $60,000 before we get to those Senate changes. Those senators are vowing to add a lot of other things in there, and that is very much par for the course. They're not starting from scratch. They've been talking about this stuff for months. Much of this was already written up, then removed, so they're just pushing to put it back in there. Brady says this has the best bill since the 1960s, but major gaps are missing. And guess who the guys and gals are who say they want to add stuff in there? The same people who talk about MSCs with you. The two C's, the two S's, and the two W's. That's why you need to advocate for their inclusion. All right, get that pen and paper ready. Let's go over some money for more checks in this incredible recon. Here's some checks already in the recon passed by the House. Pre-kindergarten, 1 year, 3 to 4 year old checks. Childcare back-end checks, enhanced tax credit, front-end check, $3,600 approximately. Earned income tax credit, back-end. Home health care, covered benefit. Hearing aid, check. Then we got the money for the Pell Grant, covered that. The housing covered that. And the $65 a month when the kid is not in school. So what is Bernie going to add into this stuff? Well, in addition to adding that MSC, who wants to lower the eligibility age of Medicare, the vision, and the dental, let's go over each of those one at a time. Lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, very big battleground issue. It's currently 65. He wants to drop it to 55. I don't think that's possible. Bob Casey wants it at 60. Next, Bernie wants to put in there dental. It was last in there as a check, $850 check to you if you're on Medicare. Not enough. Doesn't cover for most procedures. Bernie wants it higher. He wants 3 years of full benefits. I think that works. Previously, he asked for 10 years of full benefits. And finally, he wants vision. He wants vision in there, an eye exam and a pair of frames per year. I think that works, $50 a frame, and then it should be $100 a frame and an eye exam at $50 a year. We'll be looking back at Frame Wars, but I want to give you a preview of our new show on this channel in just a second. Student loan debt forgiveness, that money for student loan is really a game changer and would help the president's poll ratings. $10,000 being offered for all student loans to be forgiven. The Democrats should take it. President previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled. People went to work in the nonprofit sector and people who went to work in the public sector. Fifth stimulus heating up, and it's very important to understand how fifth stimulus is going to work. Fifth stimulus comes after your COLA benefits raise. On January 1st, your benefits are going up 5.9% automatically. You don't have to do anything. But that's not enough. You need a bigger raise than that because your benefits were devalued before the pandemic, in the pandemic, and after the pandemic because of COLA. So they're going to remove COLA and use inflation. Step one, they're going to raise your benefits up to get you caught up. Number two, apply a new benchmark every December. That benchmark is inflation, 2 to 3%. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest like Rob and Sandy. Finally, if you haven't become a member, please do. The membership link is under the video. The membership newsletter comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via me and the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which is also under this video. It's totally free. That newsletter features all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus for you to get. It features the 6 places you reach out to, the keywords you say, the 5 nonprofits, the statement from Treasury. The reason why members do so well is that it details exactly what for you to do. If, for example, you only reach out to one place, you're not going to do it. You're not going to cut it. It's not going to work. If you don't lean on the nonprofits, it's not going to work. So that's why that membership newsletter is very important. Become a member today. The link is under the video. Meantime, the excitement continues to unravel and the excitement continues to roll out. Well, what's going on? Well, one of the big things at issue here is that this channel was very happy to bring back one of its shows from 2020 yesterday. On yesterday, this channel brought back a show called Holidays LA. And Holidays LA is a show that starts with a little bit about stimulus in the first half, and the local and the day's financial news. And the second half goes over holiday decor, holiday elements, and also everything you need to know to get through these holidays. Let's take a look and see what happened in episode 1 yesterday, which covered panettone and also nautical themes for the holidays. Quick rundown of the latest update about stimulus in the first half of the recording, and the second half of this recording, holidays. In this recording, we're going to go over holiday meals with panettone. What is it? How do you choose it? What are the options? And how can you make it at home? Then we turn to doing holiday decor with a nautical theme. Those details and more coming up after the commercial break. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you with the season debut of Holidays LALATE. And that was Holidays LALATE yesterday. Meantime, it's a great day to celebrate a turkey. And what is better than celebrate turkey than a turkey theme? And there you go. Meantime, the excitement's unfolding. And with holidays coming back now at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on air with live viewer interaction daily in the time slot currently with noontime, we return also one of your most beloved shows, but ramped up in a new way. For the first time ever in the history of this channel, 3 of your favorite characters lead an all-star cast. The debut is coming to this channel of Casino, a new hit show led by Sirloin, with starring also the wonderful Javita Late and also starring Blaine 666 with guest appearances by myself. So I hope for you to join me with the debut of Casino, perhaps coming on Thanksgiving Day. Meantime, I wish all of you and your families a beautiful Thanksgiving. And if you missed the debut of Holidays LALATE yesterday, here again is a little bit about what that holidays looks like. And with that, I wish you and your family a beautiful Thanksgiving. As one viewer said yesterday in the live chat, where does he get all that stuff from? It's created here at LALATE. Thank you for allowing me to create magic for you, and I hope you deliver magic also to your family. Thank you for becoming part of this incredible family. Stay informed, stay focused. Joining me next on Evenings LA at 5 p.m. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.